Everyone, all my best friends. I hope you all are good, having a great weekend, and I'm just enjoying the sunshine. And thought I'd do a little chat today on Psalms 27:14, waiting on the Lord. Psalms 27:14 says, "Wait on the Lord, be strong, and take your heart, take courage, and wait." Why is it important to wait on God, or why is it necessary? Waiting on God strengthens us. The same is true with God and prayer. The more we wait, the more time we are given to trust. We trust God, or we can either do things in the flesh and not trust Him. If God was a genie, everyone would believe in Him, but He isn't, which is why He asks us for patience and trains us to have patience. God's timing is not our timing. And while we wait for God, it teaches us to wait in faith, trusting in God's timing instead of giving it to immediate self gratification. It helps us to examine our motives for what our desires are. Sometimes we pray selfishly, only to later realize how foolish we were in our request. God's delay in answering our prayers gives us time to see situations from His viewpoint. Often we hear people saying, "I'm waiting on God," but little do we realize that God is waiting on us to take a step of faith and move forward. Sometimes we pray for things expecting God to move, when in reality, God is waiting us to walk through a door that He has already opened for us. There's a story that I once heard of a man who was sitting on his roof during a really bad flood. And this man was sitting on the rooftop and he was praying to God to help him. And he said, "God, save me." So a rowboat went past, and the man from the motorboat said, "Hey, fellow, come down, jump in, I will save you." But this man that was stranded said, "No, thank you. I'm praying to God and He is going to save me." So the motorboat went on. And later on, there was a helicopter that came by, and the pilot shouted, "Grab this rope and I will take you to safety." The stranded man repeated again, "I'm praying to God and He is going to save me." So the helicopter went on its way. Soon the water rose above the rooftop and the man drowned and he went to heaven. He finally got his chance to discuss the situation with God, at which point he exclaimed, "I had faith in you and you didn't save me. You let me drown. I don't understand why." To that God replied, "I sent you a rowboat and a motorboat and an helicopter. What more do you expect me to do?" It's important for us as human beings to remember waiting on God doesn't mean doing nothing. While we wait, we can seek God's will and direction and actively work towards what we believe. He has called us to do. We can pray, we can read the Bible, we can serve others, and we can seek wise counsel while we're waiting. Waiting on God does not mean actively seeking God. Waiting on God doesn't mean passively waiting for something to happen, but it means we are actively seeking God, we're actively praying, we're actively taking time to meditate and expecting God to move. And, God will guide us in the right direction. and we have to let Him lead. Sometimes we want to take the steering wheel and we want to lead, but God is saying, "You wait on me." After all, how can we do great things if we never learn to trust God and we don't take a leap of faith? Like this man in the story, we are waiting for God to come down from heaven and fulfill His promise, which is fruitless. I think we need to take a step of faith, and I pray that this has been an encouragement to one and all, that as we go through life doing our daily stuff, we will know that God is in control. And if there's any encouragement to you, you may want to take this on board, but if you don't, that's okay. But we got to wait patiently for God, and we got to know we got to take a step of faith and do what only we can do, because God's not going to come down to earth and move us, but He is in His eternal realm that's waiting on us to do what we need to do. And I pray this has been a blessing to each and every one of you. And until next time, have a fabulous weekend. God bless. Bye for now.